gals, Nary here from Drake Wayne Gaming, and something on Twitter the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Devil's Gambit. So yeah, I'm very happy to jump right back into this. Let's go ahead and load our save. Alarm, Jane, you are up, and let's go. Alright. Out of curiosity, I slightly opened the window to spy through it. Below is a lamppost in the middle of the street, a few shops on the other side, and further back the forest's outline. However, I'm more fascinated by the falling raindrops. Does he still live in Ren I wonder? What does he look like now? Will we recognize each other if we meet? A sigh escapes my lips. Wherever you are, I hope there's a roof over your head, Cadgan. Next time I check my belt bag is properly stocked. My glasses, a few elixirs, bandages, and a pair of gloves are all packed tightly inside. This way I don't need to worry about an emergency catching me with my pants down. I'm in the middle of assembling my brewing equipment when a muffled shout comes from downstairs. Maybe Arwell is calling me because the food is ready. Although it didn't sound like him. It continues and it's getting louder. Curious, I make my way to the staircase to peek down. Arwell is looking a third of his size, practically crouching behind the bar. The wolf with the arm in a cast is standing up now, hurling barefanged accusations at the lion. The feline glares at him, his hands clasped on the table. "You can't do this to me! Where will my family go?" "Be quiet, mongrel. This is out of my control. It's your responsibility to pay your taxes on time. That said, if you lack coin and you are unwilling to let go of your property, which in actuality belongs to His Grace, there are plenty of other ways to repay your debt." A snarl escapes the wolf's mouth as he grabs the mug and raises it high up. The wide-eyed lion abandons his bravado and tries to dodge, but is too late. The canine swings the mug down, only for someone to catch his wrist. During their argument, Arwell had run into the kitchen, calling out a name. A wolf came out after him. I only caught a glimpse of a blue cape and a gray back as he dashed toward the commotion. This newcomer, tall and wide as a mountain, had stopped the swing at the last second. I'm transfixed by him, trying to extract as much detail as possible from how little the cape leaves exposed. It's when he looks at the other wolf, and I see his face that my mind goes numb. My legs take me downstairs of their own accord. "Damn you, Cadgan, let go!" "Stop it, Sean. What good will it do if you attack him?" "I don't care. What's the worst that'll happen? Me being thrown in jail? Ha! At least then I could sleep under a roof." "You're naive if you think the Duke will be so merciful to a man who can't even work a plot of land. Put the mug down." Sean struggles against the bigger man's grip to no avail. Eventually he lowers his ears in resignation and does as commanded, at which point Cadgan releases him. Lion clears his throat. "It's good that at least one of you is reasonable." Cadgan frowns at the lion. "Is this about his debt again?" "The Duke's patience and mercy have their limits. He must repay it one way or another. How much?" "Excuse me? How much is it? I'll pay for him." He reaches for his purse, but Sean protests, shock in his eye. "You can't, Cadgan. You don't have that much money either." Thank you. "What's your plan, then?" I don't know, but I earn more than most. Believe me, I'll be all right. You're the one in need here, Sean. It's a rough time for all of us. We need to support each other, or else Renai might break for good. I'm only doing what's right. Cadgan." The smaller wolf can't hold his tears anymore. Cadgan pats him on the shoulder and then continues the conversation about payment with the debt collector. I'm dumbstruck on the bottom step, with a foolish expression plastered all over my face. It takes a wolf wanting to get to his room to drag me back to reality. "Hey, do you mind getting out of the way?" "Oh, I'm so sorry. I was just, The canine raises an eyebrow and shakes his head before proceeding upstairs. Even after the tax collector leaves, preferring the company of the rain over the wolves, there's tension in the air. Arwell tries to soothe everybody's mood by announcing lunch is ready. Cadgan pats Sean on the shoulder one more time and goes to sit at the bar. I stare at Cadgan all the while. Is it really him? God, he might be shorter than Arwell, but that mountain-like disposition makes him seem the biggest person in the room. And speaking of the dragon, he gestures for me to come closer. "What are you doing? Why not take a seat, buddy?" "Yes, you're right, thank you." Every joint and sinew feels rigid as I sit next to Cadgan. "Goodness, why am I so nervous? Are you afraid he'll greet you by snapping you in half like a twig, Hector?" "Wait, that isn't so unlikely." I'm afraid I didn't catch your name earlier, friend." "Hector. I'm Hector of Oblon." The wolf's ears twitch, and slowly he looks up from the counter. At the time, Cadgan's gaze falls on me. I'm resigned to whatever fate he has in store for his old friend. Back in the day, a tackle and a chokehold had become his mandatory greeting after months of absence. He was a child then. Now he's a giant. Surely he will strangle me dead with his biceps and forearm, but despite knowing my inevitable demise, I feel at peace, even giddy. However, the wolf merely looks at me. Well, that's a face I haven't seen in a long time. Indeed, you've, grown. His ear twitches. And you've become a full-fledged doctor. Oh, you two know each other? Mm-hmm. We go way back, isn't that right, Hector? I cleared my throat, mostly to buy time to gather my wits. Cadgan was one of my father's patients. We became great friends during that time. I didn't know if you still lived in town, but I was planning to look for you after seeing the Duke. To think we'd run into each other right away. A chilly wind from the times before Arwell's nest, when trees and pale sunlight surrounded us near the Duke's mansion, blows past my ears. It doesn't disturb me, because Cadgan leads the way with that expression hotter than any flame, stone, or iron. Yay. There you know. Before I let you two catch up, would you like a drink, Hector? The first one's on the house. Oh, of course. Thank you. It smells great. And one for Cadgan for helping Sean. Appreciated. Arwell retreats into the kitchen to finish preparing lunch. We take sips from our drinks while we talk. You seemed surprised a while ago. Well, I was expecting to find a skinny wolf about my height. What have you been doing to earn that physique? A lot of jobs, most of them unremarkable. Nowadays, I'm a lumberjack and the town's unofficial peacekeeper. I slapped the bar, cackling. You? Peacekeeper? You're joking! No, I'm serious. The resurfacing childhood memories bring a smile to his face. It's a small, fragile thing, and it only lasts for an instant. Then he's back to that serious expression. What does Renai even have need a peacekeeper for? We never heard about there being much trouble in town. Yes, it used to be peaceful, but things change. Cadgan suddenly turns toward the kitchen. What is it? The food is ready. Arwell exits the kitchen carrying an enormous iron pot and begins serving the stew, which is a rather simple mix of eggs, meat, and some fruit or vegetable I don't recognize. The latter part gives it an exotic smell that makes my stomach twist in hunger. Because we always stayed in the Duke's mansion, I didn't taste the local cuisine much. Leopoldino preferred ingredients imported from his homeland. I can barely resist shoving the first few spoonfuls into my mouth. Control yourself, Hector. Don't embarrass yourself in front of Cadgan so soon. Want some, Cadgan? No, thank you. A free beer was enough compensation. Let me treat you to a bowl, then. You don't have to. Yes, let me treat him. Ha! This one's for helping in the kitchen. Arwell swears the wolf stew anyway and walks away. After my stomach is half full and my plate half empty, I recall that Cadgan said before the dragon returned. Even having noticed the darkness behind those words, my curiosity gets the best of me. What did you mention earlier about the town changing? Do you not know what's happening? I figure something bad happened, but the job description was very vague. It just said the Duke was summoning many doctors here. The wolf falls silent for a moment. It started with Manolino's arrival. Leopoldino wasn't a good ruler, but he knew there were limits to how much he could intervene with town life. He ruled Renai with an iron fist, but knew it was more profitable to keep it sane and running. Manolino? He doesn't care. He's been pulling people away from their jobs, getting them mangled out there in the valley, and sending them back home, expecting them to work and pay taxes as though they didn't break an arm. That's what happened earlier. It's awful. I thought there had been a flood, a big accident, or something to that effect. I didn't think it'd be this bad. But, Manolino, do you mean Manol? I knew they were related, but to think that he was Leopoldino's heir? Sorry, I picked up the habit of calling him that in front of others, from the others. Make sure you call him your grace and all that. And one more thing. The wolf lowers his voice and drags his chair closer. The touch of his arm against mine startles me. Whatever you do, avoid mentioning the legends about the demons to the Duke. If he brings them up, just let him talk and nod, and don't contradict him. He's not a fan of folklore, huh? Cadgan side-eyes a nearby table where some lions sit. It's not that, but let's talk about it later when we don't have as much company. So, how about you, Hector? How has life treated you these last years? Slowly, I stare at remains of my stew. My memories of Renai are nothing but sweet, but I never think about what happened next. When I wake up, I pretend I don't know when I became a doctor or why Dad is gone. When I go to bed, it comes back to me. I shut my eyes and hope I can ignore the noise until sunrise. Maybe Cadgan wonders how come he didn't see me for 9 years. The situation in my town got resolved. I hope, but I don't, that he pries me open, wakes me up from this dream where the past doesn't exist outside of Renai. But then, what can I tell him? Let's see, surely it wasn't all bad. Find something that doesn't sour this otherwise happy reunion. How about this? Dad has passed away. Now you answer the call of his clients from the city. The merchants and noblemen who called for Dr. Cadgan give you a look when a badger half his age with eyes round like plates and shaky hands shows up on their doorstep. Shaky hands are such a bad sign. Can you be trusted to handle chemicals? To not screw up when infusing elixirs with magic? God, you can't handle a needle like that, let alone a knife. But you convinced them all. You aren't like your father. You're better. Even Mr. Daniels, always so rude, acknowledges it. He puts it best. You are a masterpiece. Dr. Cadgan's masterpiece. 26 years and counting in the making. Still in the making. So I tell Cadgan about Dad's old clients, how they had reacted when I showed up and how impressed they were afterwards, and when Mr. Daniels had hit me in the face with my medical bag because he feared I'd slip and stab him with a needle while doing his stitches. You're very skilled from the sound of it. Had you been born a lion, you'd be in their capital, working for the nobles and whatnot. He flattered me, but, well, life dealt me different cards. Not that I'm complaining. Yes, what about your father, then? Did he retire? No, he's gone. Oh, I'm sorry. Cadgan looks at the arrangement of glasses and bottles in front of him. It happened a long time ago, so it doesn't bother me anymore. Hey, how was, what was her name? Something with T. Teresa? She's doing well. She's expecting. Yes, her. Is it her first child? Third. She had twins, both troublemakers like their mother. Don't tell her I said that. Which reminds me, what about you, Hector? Huh? Children, do you have any? No. I have too much work to meet with anybody, let alone think about children. Even if I had time, I don't know if I'd want any. The wolf takes his mug, staring at the swirling substance for a long time before taking a big gulp. I see. The storm is letting up, its lullaby reduced to a pitter-patter. After cleaning my plate, I stopped to take a long look at the wolf while he finishes his. The last time I saw him, he was shorter and skinnier than me, but that didn't make him any less admirable. Now he wouldn't be out of place illustrated as the hero of a legend or some epic. It fills me with pride that my friend has grown to such a fine man. I'm pretty round myself, of course, but with muscles like that, he could lift me with one arm and not break a sweat. The pride must be visible on my face, because when Cadgan notices me looking, his smile and the glimmer in his eyes are the same as he would have whenever he showed off. I look away, feeling self-conscious suddenly. After finishing his food, Cadgan looks towards the windows. I should go. So soon? What for? Got some wood to deliver. Got to keep everybody warm. The rain held me for longer than I'd have liked. We get up, and I follow him to the door. The breeze coming from outside surprises me, making me shiver, but it's not pouring down as hard anymore. Well, I'm glad I got to talk to you again, Cadgan. Me too. The wolf stops and turns to me with a thoughtful expression. Thinking I would head back inside right away, he puts a hand on my shoulder. He pulls me closer, but it's his rugged touch and the now powerful smell of tree bark and damp earth that pin me in place. What will you do? I'll take a nap until the rain stops before I head to the Duke's mansion. Sounds good. Remember what I told you. Yes, don't talk about demons. Don't disagree with him. Will you be alright? You already sound nervous. I'm not used to how big you've gotten. Alright, y'all, I'm gonna pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Alright, y'all, I'm gonna head to bed. I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!